Hello, y'all. I am back again for another video. And ironically, Daniel
Yes, indeed.
asked me, come over here. Daniel just asked me if I was going to be doing a video right now, right? And Daniel makes the statement. Tell the YouTubers your statement that you made.
My statement was,
You gotta speak up.
was you making a video?
And then what else? You said something about predicting the future.
Yeah, because you said that you made you're making a video about predicting the future.
Yes, exactly. So what happened was Daniel asked me, was I going to be doing a video? And then Daniel says he can predict the future. And then I said, that's funny you would say that because I'm going to be doing a video and discussing predicting the future in some sense. Daniel's clapping over here. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yep. So Daniel has the gift as well, but I'm going to be going over and explaining how the gift can be utilized through using logic as well.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Did you want to say anything else?
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so with that being said, my gift began when I lived with my mother on Linton in St. Louis, Missouri. And I've talked about this in other videos. I was able to predict a deceased or dead animal that was in the backyard without having to go out there and see the animal. So my gift basically emphasizes in the area of being able to like feel danger, predict death. I can have visions, dreams, just intuition. Sometimes I just will know. The angels will tell me certain things. And so I made this statement on other videos where I say I'm like DNA. So my predictions and prophecies are 99.9% accurate, y'all. But I'm not the Lord, so I'm not allowed to know everything. The Lord is only going to allow me to know certain things. So what I'm able to do is utilize my gift and I guess merge it with logic. You always got to be logical. But the thing is, because I'm normally kind of like 99.9% accurate, logic is not always needed. Okay, so what I can do is like utilize my gift more and then teach y'all how to pick up the red flags. See, the thing is, because I have the gift, if some go down, I'm going to be able to like read certain things in a different light. You know, kind of like good detectives, you know, like good detectives. Hello, Millie Cullen. Thank you so much for coming into the live. So, Millie, what I was just saying was basically, I'm not the Lord or anything like that, of course, but I do have a gift, and it's basically like the prediction of death, danger. I'm allowed sometimes to know what's happened in the past or what is going to happen. Okay, I also can predict future events of like death and danger and things like that. My gift is not in life. So like some people gift is like in being able to predict if somebody's pregnant or if somebody's getting ready to be born. They may be able to predict somebody's getting ready to get married. My gift is not in that area. My gift mainly emphasizes danger because the thing is, this is why the Lord gave me the gift, is because I'm a protector. Okay, so before the Lord even allowed me to have the gift, if I was able to pick which one I wanted, if the Lord asked me, Irene, would you want to be able to predict somebody getting ready to get married, or would you want to be able to predict somebody getting ready to walk into danger, and I'm gonna give you an opportunity to protect the person. See, my gift can be used to where I use this term called death dates. Okay, I don't believe that we have only one death date. Okay, it's only one day that you're going to physically die. However, you have many death dates that you know nothing about. So, for example, if you pray and you always repent and ask the Lord for protection, there's times when the Lord's protecting you from a death date and you don't even know it. So, for example, I'm here on the West Coast. So, when I leave the house in the morning, there could be a serial killer that's roaming around that was getting ready to decide he was going to get me or somebody else. But the serial killer just happens to get arrested for stealing at the store. Something weird happens, right? So I don't know any of this is happening. I'm just using this as an example. So actually, that was a death date for me that I didn't even know about, because the Lord had the serial killer go up the street to the store and get caught up there to keep the serial killer from killing me back here. So see, when you believe in the Lord, a heavenly Lord, there's a lot of things that could happen to you that you don't even realize the Lord is protecting you from. So hold on. Millie Cullen says, it's okay, girl. The Lord is everything, even when it was in the past, or the hard times. Yeah, so I'm gonna give you an example of one particular situation where my gift was utilized. Okay, I was in a building and we decided to go through the steps, go through the door, and we're gonna go up to the other floor through the stairway. So when I went through that door, I couldn't move. So right where I was standing, I told and may Lump rest in peace, he's passed away. We had like an adopted uncle / cousin up here on the West Coast that passed away. And he knew about my gift. He was there to see it before he passed away. Also, I was helping him in some sense before he passed away, and I felt the death spirit on him as well. So he ended up passing away of a heart attack, but he was a great friend and like an adopted uncle and cousin and stuff like that. He was very he always honored me and was very respectful. And he was the boyfriend of one of my play cousins, because I had on the West Coast, I had some play cousins. Okay. And that particular play cousin, she's moved to California now. So she's not around, as she's not as close to me as she once was. So I went into this building and I was in the stairway. And as I was standing there, I felt blood. I couldn't explain it. I just froze. Okay. Now, and I told Lump, I said, it's blood near here. It's like blood. Where is this coming from? Now, it wasn't physically present, but in this location I was standing at, I could just feel it. It felt like it was like up under me. So I'm telling Lump, what is this? I could not move out of this spot. And so come to find out, the spot that I was standing at, there was a garage under this apartment complex. And under this, right below where I was standing, in that garage is where this gentleman had been shot down and murdered. So I could feel the blood and like the murder of this man. And I didn't know this man. So Lump explained to me what was happening. He was another Scorpio. So it was kind of good that he was there, because any other sign might have thought I was just a weirdo or some kind of crazy broad. But Lump understood the psychic abilities that come with just being a Scorpio. He had the gift as well. I mean, he was able to, he knew a lot of things. So, in that particular situation, when I was in the building standing there, I was telling Lump, I said, it's blood here. And the man bled out right where I was standing in that spot. The man that had been murdered bled out in that garage. Lump told me the whole story. I couldn't believe it. But that's one of the examples of I could feel past trauma, but to feel it, I have to have access to the area. So, for example, I'm not the Lord, so I cannot feel that that man got murdered in that garage if I'm not standing there. Okay, does that make sense? It's kind of like an energy thing. So I have to be at the location sometimes to feel it or around the person, but I don't always have to be at the location. But many of my predictions, whether the prediction is past or present, I am at the location. So as time moves, I'm gonna share the gift and utilize it. It's not a gift I have to hide. If I have the potential, if I'm like DNA and I'm like 99.9% accurate, all of my predictions I was 99.9% accurate. So when I was standing in that spot, in that stairway, and I'm standing there and I feel blood and I'm expressing that, I went in shock, y'all. You know, Lump advised me of what happened because at the time he lived in the building. So he actually knew the gentleman that was murdered. He wasn't like best friends with him, but he knew about the guy that was murdered. So Lump, you know, like I said, Lump was a Scorpio. So he was able to say, you know, Irene, you cool. I mean, he saw my gift on and off throughout the years. He used to call, he had this nickname for me. I don't want to start crying, but Lump used to call me, he used to say, you like Dionne Warwick psychic friends. So that was his way of acknowledging that my predictions were real. You know, it used to be a show many years ago, Dionne Warwick psychic friends. Dionne Warwick, she's Whitney Houston's aunt. And so that was, you know, Lump's way of expressing, and Lump was his nickname. You know, we called him Uncle Lump, Cousin Lump, or whatever. That was his nickname. But that's just one of the examples. Yeah, so that's just how that went. So with that being said, there's a situation where I will be utilizing the gift, and I'm gonna be doing a reaction. And remember, y'all, this is like a radio show. So I'm not physically showing myself in these lives. However, I am when I do a reaction, the video that I do the reaction to, I put it below in the description box once